Welcome, Dillon. We are so happy to have you on the Shine podcast with us today. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Dillon Hodges. I am a recording artist. I have a band called Fire Kid, and I work for a television show on PBS called Reconnecting Roots. I'm the music producer for the show.
So what got you into music in the first place?
I went to Kilby Elementary School. So my parents were faculty members at the university here, and so I think you get that's how you get access to the school. I'm not exactly sure. I had a music teacher there named Kim Nelson who she was really good. You know, she got us experimenting with like xylophones and playing piano, and at some point I decided I wanted to play guitar because I had a dream that I had performed a concert on the roof of my elementary school. And so I started taking guitar lessons. It turned out it became kind of easy to me. And my parents were just really supportive and took me to music festivals and stuff like that where I was doing competitive guitar. And yeah, it just all came from like a weird dream I had.
That's actually really cool. So obviously when you were young, you realized music was something you kind of wanted to pursue as a career.
Yes. I had a teacher. The man who started teaching me guitar was my neighbor. His name is Mark Campbell. And he was gigging a little bit around town. So he was a fiddler, and he taught me how to play guitar so I could like back him up. So I was playing at a catfish restaurant called J Fiddler's Cafe, which is in Tuscumbia. I think it's called I don't want to get this name wrong, but I think it's called Two Fat Sisters or something.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That.
I know where that's at.
That's the name of the restaurant, right?
Yes, it is.
That's a wild name. But it used to be called J Fiddler's Cafe. And so he would take me there on Thursdays and Saturdays to play with other people who we would just get together and jam. And the owner of the restaurant liked me, and I was probably 11 to 13 at the time. And he was like, "What if I gave you your own night?" So I started playing at this catfish restaurant, 3 to 4 hour sets. It's a lot of songs, and I was probably 11 or 12, 13 at the time. And so I would play for tips at the catfish restaurant. And so basically from the time I started playing, I was playing professionally.
Yeah.
Just because I liked it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What was your first gig outside of college that kind of made you feel like you had it, like you were kind of making it somewhere?
It's wild. I guess it wasn't necessarily a gig as much as it was right after I got out of college. As I was graduating college, so my senior year, I was making a solo record under my own name, Dillon Hodges, and I was just getting ready to put it out. And before I even put it out, I started getting interest from some producers who were working in LA. And so I started going to LA right after I graduated college to write with these people, Josh Edmondson and Charity Daw. That project kind of became Fire Kid. And so within basically a year of graduating college, I got signed to Atlantic Records, which is like a major label, and nothing I would have ever expected, just being a bluegrass guitarist from Alabama, you know.
So we did some research, and we saw you also studied accounting.
Yeah.
So are you using that at all?
Well, I don't use it. My wife does our taxes. I'm ashamed. My accounting professors. Sorry, Walter. Sorry, Walter Campbell. Sorry, Sharon Campbell. Yeah, so I majored in accounting. I had a bunch of AP classes and credits going into college. And I had a full tuition scholarship here. I was on track to graduate in 2.5 years, and that would have been just a waste of a scholarship. And so I was majoring in entertainment industry management, which I don't think exists anymore. It's like entertainment is its own department now. But I wanted to get another major that my credits would work towards, and accounting was the thing that crossed over. And I was friends with 2 of the professors, and I thought, oh, this will be easy. And let me tell you all something. It was very, very hard. Accounting was so much harder than entertainment management. I just had experience in entertainment management, and it's like what I was already doing. And accounting is so different from anything I'm good at. I mean, I still graduated, got decent grades, but yeah, no, I don't use it. It's a skill that's good to have, though, so I can, I know what people are talking about when they talk about debits and credits and auditing and stuff, but no, it was really hard. I'm a dumb guy, though, so I think I was just trying to reach a little bit to try and challenge myself, and I succeeded.
Were you part of any choirs, in high school?
Yeah, so I went to Florence High School, and my choir teacher was Rebecca Rockhill. She was awesome. Yeah, we went to Florence. Is she still there? She's certainly retired by now, right? She works here? Rebecca Rockhill works here? Oh my God. Well, I love her so much. She's amazing. And so I did show choir every year of high school. I was terrible at dancing. I think she kept me around because I could sing, but I think she kind of hid me a little bit because my dancing skills weren't very good. But yeah, I did choir. I loved it.
I also did show choir in high school, and I loved it. Yes.
Did you go to Florence?
No, I went to Muscle Shoals.
Oh, boo! Just kidding. That's great.
I know, it's the rival across the river.
That's right.
Did you do choir in college as well?
No, I didn't. Lepke was the. Is he still here?
Yes, he is.
He was a professor, and I crossed his path a few times, but no, I should have. But I was already had 2 majors in my.
Right.
Busy doing accounting.
Yes. Okay. We listened to some of your music, and we were wondering what kind of inspired your first album. Like, what were you going for?
The first Fire Kid album?
Yes.
Right. So I was making a solo album, like the Dillon Hodges album, and I really liked Gorillaz, the band that does like Feel Good Inc., and I wanted to do a cover of Feel Good Inc., and so I did it on the banjo. It's like solo banjo. This was on my original album. Under my own name, Dillon Hodges, and it just felt really boring and lame. So I put a drum machine behind it, and it ended up being this weird mixture of like acoustic and electronic music. There was something in the sound that I really loved. It sounded nothing like the other solo stuff that I'd done. And so I was working on that right before I started working on the Fire Kid stuff. So the inspiration for the sound largely came from wanting to make something that was both acoustic and felt rural but modern and electronic. Had like electronic elements, synthesizers and drum machines and that kind of stuff.
You won a Daytime Emmy Outstanding Original Song titled We're Home, and you did that with some other artists, right?
Right, so my wife and our music supervisor.
So, I mean, that's awesome. Like, tell us about that, and what were some feelings you had, like, finding out about that achievement? Because I feel like that's pretty unreal.
It was so, I mean, I say it feels so random just because I didn't expect it to happen at all. Well, so I work on the TV show Reconnecting Roots, which is on PBS. And one thing they don't tell you, but everybody knows that PBS doesn't have any money. Like they're the broke network. They're always begging, And so I just saw like, okay, we got nominated. That's cool. We're never going to win. Because like with awards, sometimes it really kind of is a sham, especially with the big like primetime ones and the Grammys and stuff like that. It's usually people campaign for it, sending gift baskets, and like there's like an active ground game to win these things. And I knew
wow.
We do not have that. We do not have ground game resources at PBS. And so yeah, I didn't expect to win at all. In fact, I didn't go to the awards ceremony. Neither did my wife.
Oh.
So just like, yeah, Mandy, our music supervisor who works on it with us, she'll go. She'll be there representing us. That's fine. And my wife Heidi and I were playing a music festival that night. Actually, Alex Whitcheck, who teaches audio engineering here at the university, went with us. He tour managed our show. As we were driving back from the show, I got a text message. It was like, congrats. I had no idea what they were talking about. I totally forgot it was happening. And then people started sending me clips of Mandy, our music supervisor, accepting the award. I was like, okay, well, I guess that happened. And then it's like, cool, that's great. And sort of moved on. We've been so crazy just in our personal lives lately. Then I realized, like they don't just send you a trophy. You have to pay for it. I think it's like $400 to $500.
Seriously?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. And so I thought, well, maybe the studio will buy trophies for us. But it's PBS, so they don't have like trophy money. And so I was like, well, that's okay. We won't have trophies because like we don't have just an extra $1,000 to buy trophies for ourselves. It felt kind of indulgent. Yeah, a couple weeks ago, the trophies showed up at our house. Someone anonymously purchased them for us, which is really sweet.
That is really sweet.
We both got our trophy.
$1,000. It's steep.
Yeah. And I think usually if had it been like Netflix or Hulu or something, like a lot of times the studios will purchase the trophies for their people.
So, do you think you enjoy writing like for yourself or for like a bigger purpose, like a TV show or as a band? What do you enjoy more?
I feel like I use different parts of my brain for each thing. So when I'm writing for myself, I think about it a certain way. And when I'm writing for a television show or for another artist, I think about it differently. It's like back when I was solely doing Fire Kid stuff, I felt like there had to be some sort of commercial component to it. Like I have to like write a song that people will like. I have to write a song that will sell records and make people like what we do. And so I was pretty stuck in the commodification of my own art. But when I started working for television and producing other artists, that concern is taken off my plate to a good extent. It's like they bring the songs written and, I help them tweak lyrics or whatever. I produce the song for them. And that has paid the bills for like a while now. And so for the last, 4 years when I've been making my own music, I really don't have to think about the
Yeah.
commercial application of it anymore. I can just make something I like. So it's two different parts of my brain. I probably enjoy writing my own stuff more now just because there's no limitations. I can make something without worrying if anybody's going to like it. I just make it because I want to.
Right. We did see that your band with your wife, Fire Kid, she's in it, right?
Yeah, she's in it.
So, how did y'all meet? Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, so Fire Kid had been going for like a year before she hopped in. We were touring and she came in just during the tour, which was cool. But we met in probably 2013, so right after I graduated here. I met her in a songwriting appointment, and so we wrote a terrible song together for the first time. But like the hang was good, the vibes were good,
Uh-huh.
and so we stayed friends and we collaborated for a few years after that. She was a music supervisor on a Civil War movie that really didn't ever come out, but she had me come in and basically play banjo and hammer dulcimer and guitar on the Civil War film. Yeah, and then eventually we just fell in love. I don't know.
Yeah. That's cool. It's a fun way to meet, and it's cool that y'all get to bond over that.
Yes,
And
I am convinced that we're soulmates. We do everything together. Has nothing to do with music, but when she gets into something, I try to get into it as well, so that we can have something to talk about.
yeah.
And she does the same for me. So she got really into gardening probably in 2018, 2019. And so I'm out there learning about like tubers and dahlias and, identifying like different kinds of cosmos or something. And then, around the same time, I got into philosophy. And so I was reading Wittgenstein and Heidegger, and she can talk about being in time, and she can talk about the Tractatus, and it's like just so that we have or it keeps the relationship interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
But music is our full-time job, and we do it together.
Yeah. That's really cool. What all instruments do you play?
I play a guitar is my primary instrument,
Yeah.
but I can play banjo, mandolin, hammered dulcimer, bass, drum machine. I can do piano a little bit. There's probably other things too, but those are the things that I play most often.
It's a lot. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's like once you for a mandolin, banjo, and guitar, they're all like fretted stringed instruments. So
yeah.
once you can play one of them, the other ones are a bit easier. Hammered dulcimer was a kind of a shot in the dark.
What is that?
Oh, okay. It's like if you take. Have you seen the inside of a piano?
Yes.
Okay, so it's like the inside of a piano exposed with the strings laid out flat on a surface. And when you play piano, you push the keys down and it strikes the inside with a hammer. Well, this doesn't have any keys. It's just the exposed insides of a piano, and you hit it with sticks, like with drumsticks. So it sounds like there's like a Persian version of it called the santur. There's like another Eastern version of it called the zither, I think. But this is a mountain instrument, but it's influenced by those other things.
Cool. Are you in the process of writing anything new, like for yourself or for the TV show?
Yeah. Well, we're working on season 5 right now for the TV show, and they always, the stuff that gets me excited to write for the TV show is when they pick a weird topic for the season. Like this season, they're doing garbage, And so I get to like compose a song about trash. That was really, really a lot of fun actually. And my wife is in the process. She's released 2 songs from this record right now, but she's in the process of releasing an album of cowboy music. And so for that, it's called Trail Songs and Other Ditties, and her name is Heidi Feek. But I get to produce it, and it's kind of like acoustic guitar. She's singing like Big Iron, like these old cowboy songs, and I composed the whole orchestra around it, so like strings and woodwinds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wanted it to feel like 1950s Disney music, real like sentimental sounding and like warm fuzzy feelings with the string arrangements and stuff like that. Very emotive and sweet. And then as a side note, yeah, we've got some like crazy, like I said earlier, we got some crazy life stuff going on right now. So it's been great fodder for me to, write stuff for an album that may or may not ever come out. But I've been working on an instrumental album for like 5 years that will eventually come out, and then another solo Dillon Hodges album that I've been working on.
Cool. So how long have you been with the industry or the business that you're working with, like the people who signed you?
Oh, with PBS, I started working with them in 2018, so 6 years now. I've been at the network, and together we've put out 3 records together with that. And yeah, is that what you were asking?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Okay. What was your favorite album of the year?
Oh, my favorite album of the year is Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, is that the one with is Espresso on that one?
Yes, it is.
What's the other big song? I mean, there's a lot of good songs on it, but it's like, please, please, please.
That's the one.
I tend to know them just from the TikTok sounds. Is the album good?
Yes, it's so good.
I mean, it's your favorite, so obviously you like it.
Yes. I got to see her in concert 2 weeks ago in Nashville, and it was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Where was she at Bridgestone?
Yes, she was.
Wow. Her, like, success is pretty meteoric. She's blown up pretty quick.
Yes,
This isn't her first album, though, is it?
No.
Okay.
I think it's her third.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it always surprises me when someone seems like an overnight success, but then they've been doing it's like their 5th album or something. You know?
Right.
Like obviously Charlie XCX had Brat, and if you weren't paying attention, you think she just came out of nowhere, but she's been in it for like over a decade. She's been doing it forever.
I remember her from Fancy.
Yeah.
With
Iggy Azalea.
Yes. That's like all I knew her from until this summer.
Really? Did you have a Brat summer?
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you have a Brat summer?
I did. In fact, I love Charlie XCX. She's part of like a distinct like type of music called PC music, which was it's kind of like a British underground thing. I'm a big fan of what she does, and I thought this was like one of her best records, and to the point I was like really surprised that other people liked it, because if you want to talk about my taste in music, the good metric is like if Dillon likes it, no one else is gonna like it. I like unique things, and like I'm not typically inspired by like big, massive acts. Like I don't typically find much there. Like I'm no shade against Post Malone or something or Taylor Swift. Like they're fine. Like I can enjoy their music, but I don't find myself like inspired by it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do love Taylor Swift though.
You're a Swiftie?
I am.
Wow. Favorite Taylor Swift album?
Speak Now.
Speak Now. That was an early one, right? Yeah, It's like she's wearing a big dress on the cover and there's like sparkles.
Yes, it's purple and
it's
her
purple,
hair's like blowing.
Has she done a re-release of that one yet?
She has.
Okay. Taylor's version. Have you seen her live?
I have, but I saw her Red tour. I was in like 5th grade, so.
Wow. I mean, the tickets are like $1 million now. So
I
like,
know.
You have to take out a mortgage to go see her.
It's insane.
I don't think it's her fault though. Like I think it's my understanding is like Ticketmaster is has been out of control, and like scalper prices and all this stuff. I remember like I don't think I've ever charged more than like $25 for a concert. Like that's crazy.
I wish everybody did that.
Yeah, I think like when you're one of these big like national acts, you don't really have much of a choice. Like it's kind of set for you.
Yeah.
Capitalism, am I right?
It's unfortunate. Do you listen to Lizzie McAlpine? This is just random, but I feel like she fits your vibe.
Does she? What kind of music is it?
It's like
Sing a song for me right now. Maybe I know it.
I can't do that. It's kind of like indie.
Okay.
But
is it like acoustic
yes.
vibes? Okay.
Yes.
I might have heard her music, but I don't know her name off the top of my head.
You should listen to her.
Lizzie McAlpine. I'm trying to think of like stuff that I've listened to that I've like really, really enjoyed. But lately I'm just listening to Elliott Smith and being kind of sad. But that's what I need right now. You know what I mean? Like I'm just listening to older stuff or stuff that I grew up with, Radiohead. That's typically the stuff that inspires that. You know, I just go back and listen to the stuff that I was inspired by to kind of like spark my imagination back in the day. It's just kind of like a mine I can always go back to and find gold.
Yeah. So it's obviously been very successful. And our main goal here is we want to know how UNA influenced your life and how it's made you who you are today.
Yeah. Specifically, UNA made me want to be a songwriter. I was in 9th grade and I was allowed an opportunity to audit the songwriting class here at UNA, taught by Bob Garferick at the time. I know he's since retired, but I think John Paul White teaches the songwriting class now here at UNA, and he's a friend of mine. He's great. So I was able to go in and kind of like learn something that no one might, in 9th grade has the opportunity to learn. And I just felt really fortunate that I was given the opportunity. I just won the National Guitar Championship.
Oh, wow.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So it was a bit surprising to me. I won when I was 17, and it was like a life goal of mine to win the National Guitar Championship because like normally people are much older who win.
Right.
And so I won early, and I felt like it stunted me. I was really feeling like I was going to come home after winning it, tell all my high school friends, I won the National Guitar Championship. And they were going to like, carry me on their shoulders and celebrate me. And everyone said, what is that? What is the National Guitar Championship? And so I was grateful that I'd already taken this like songwriting class, and I was like, this is what I want to do. Like this can have an impact beyond just like this bluegrass world with a really low ceiling. And so that songwriting class in particular changed the trajectory of my life. And then once I got into UNA, that also played a role in me wanting to come to UNA later. And so I ended up coming to UNA. And in the entertainment program, they have something called Singing River Records, where they pick a few students, or it might be volunteer where you sign up, but you get resources and studio time, and you you go sign an artist, and you help them compose songs, and you go into the studio, produce it, and then you go through the process of releasing an album. So like from start to finish, you get to like manage and produce and release an album. And because I was able to do that, I was able to, after I graduated, I already had experience like producing and releasing an album with the resources of an organization like UNA behind me. It was incredible. I can't imagine a better scenario to learn how to do something than just to do it full hands-on with complete creative control too.
Yeah.
It was really special.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. We're very impressed.
Oh my gosh. Well, I love UNA, and thank you guys for having me.
Of course.
Hello, this is Emmeline post-editing, realizing that our podcast isn't quite long enough. So now you get to enjoy us realizing that we could in fact turn up his mic even though we had already finished recording.
Good job. Ooh.
There we go.
We're cooking now. Look at I might be a little loud. Check. Wow, we're peaking. Check. Now it's too quiet. Hold on. All right.
You've been listening to the Shine Podcast with your host, Lola Crowden, your editor, Emmeline Tyree, audio engineer, Adelina Young, and producer, Sadie Lester.